Alright, welcome back everyone. Here we are, new project day. Gonna start off my Christmas season builds with the ROKR Dream Gift Factory. Had this one requested several times over the past couple of months, and I've had it sitting around a couple of months at least. So I think I bought it from ROKR directly, but I'll link it from the Amazon in the description. That's there's no affiliate links or anything on that, so definitely go do your best search on there and try and find your best deal for you. But yeah, like I say, it's been a request and new project day. So what we got here? We got let's say the Dream Gift Factory mechanical. It doesn't look like it's a. I thought it had some marble run things going, but it looks like it's just a moving little machine. Let's see what we got. Usually this, I probably just flipped it over. Pieces are probably on the front, but no, 449 pieces. Yeah, it says it's a. Was that 6 stars? A 6-star out of 6 out of 5. So it must be a really difficult one. But pretty much that's everything on the outside. I think looks like it'll be a fun build. Looks like there's a lot of room for stuff to be going on here. I'm assuming our Christmas tree is going to spin, and our assembly line is going to be doing some kind of cycle. So it looks like there's multiple things going on. I always make a point to not look at the videos when I order these things. So I want to be surprised at the end result. But with all that being said, let's pop it open and see what we're getting into. So just run down the side there, and high quality plastic wrap at least. While I'm doing this, if you're new here, this is what I do. I buy these kits and build them step by step, mostly in real time. You get to see all my successes and all my failures, and I hopefully fix those inevitable failures as they come up. Upload daily and just trying to have a good time. We're not solving the world's problems, just building silly little models, having a bit of fun. You see any kits or builds or sets you want to take a shot at, feel free to drop in the comments. I'm always looking to add onto my list, and I've got the most intelligent audience in YouTube because y'all provide me with nothing but the best of options. So what we got? Got a standard ROKR instruction manual. It feels pretty thick for one of those. What we got? Okay. 50 pages, but they usually start like page 7. Let's see. No, they jumped in pretty quick on this one. Okay, so it goes right on. Page 3 is where it actually starts. So we're looking, 47 pages worth of build. So that's pretty extensive for a ROKR. Pretty standard thing. I like how they do most of them. They do a list of the pieces you'll need on that section. And they break it down real good for you. Pictures are good printing, good. Sometimes asymmetric view is hard to tell where they're supposed to be lining up with, but they usually do a good job of color coding them and everything. So that's good quality instructions, I think. Yeah, let's see. There's all our gear. Pretty thick stack of pieces. We'll take a look at those in a minute. See what else we got. Got our motor going here. It's standard. Got those, plug and play. You don't have to worry about doing any soldering or connecting on there. There's our touch sensor. Got a spring on this one. I think I've seen that before, but I don't remember where. Done too many of these to keep track of everything. A couple of bags of plastic bits. There's our tree container, our assembly line, the window. Got a few more decorative gears and cogs, I would imagine. Base plates and stuff. Alright. And then got a silver bag of mystery, so we'll check that out in a minute. There's our LED and our power brick. Got standard USB-C. You can see past the reflection. Just plug it in. I generally use either a power brick or a wall adapter. Let's see. Actual rubber belts, shafts and screws. Okay, it's a couple of, you can't tell, there's a couple of Christmas tree. That's probably like a shade for some lights. That's sort of there. And a little, I think they call that electrical tape on those old black patches usually. I don't really use it that much. And one of the high quality teeny tiny screwdrivers, some nail clippers to clip our plastic bits with, more screws, collar spacers. And then we got here another connection. of some sort. We got a one. Okay, that's LEDs on there. I didn't. Hard to spot them. They're teeny tiny LEDs. And a little bit of wax. All right, now let's see what was in our silver bag of mystery over here. Okay, something's wrapped up. Okay, speaker. Yeah, okay, so it plays music too. Alright, I'll put you back into the silver bag of mystery because I think it'll be easy to spot whenever the time comes that I need you. That's the only thing in there. Yep, okay. Alright, now let's look at our sheets and then we'll get going on it here. Let me grab probably a good point to break it with. Alright. Okay, complimentary piece of sandpaper. I've got like about 1,000 of these. Here's some clear acrylic snowflake decorations on it. There's some cardstock here. A few pieces. Okay, so they use, I'm sure there's some real accordion pieces on there, but they got this for our accordion bits rather than the thick ones. Little decoration there. Yeah, cool. Now on to the actual pieces. Nothing on the back of it. No, plain back. This one, yeah, it's still just printed on one side. Got some elves and more decorations than anything on that one, it looks like. And then to the real meat of the matter. Okay. Another thing. No, I thought that might be cardstock again, but that's, yeah, there's definitely some accordion bits there. Still only one side of printing. These are, it's not that they're thin, they're just so, the pieces are so big they got a little wobble to them, so they feel a little flimsy. They're what is it? 1/8 of an inch, maybe 3/16. And there, this one's a little thicker, so, and that's one of the particle board pieces. It's not plywood. It looks like our base on it. That's another thick boy. That must be the inside stuff because there's no decoration at all on it. A little bit, a couple of minor pieces of printing on it. And last but not least, there we go. Alright, so that's all the pieces. Stack them back up here, and I'll pull the first couple of steps or pages and we'll get going on that thing. I sort of plan on this being a shorter video since it's the unboxing and let everybody see. I think this is what everybody really wants to see, is the unboxing bit. I don't know if they're watching the build, but maybe they'll come back and watch the build if they need help. But like I said, I'll grab those first few bits and we'll get going on this thing. Alright, so jumping in on step one. Got a few little bits in here. And if you're new, when I get a colored piece, I generally try and paint the edges to sort of blend in with the front, so it's sort of a little less contrast. I don't try and match them perfectly. I just, I bought the cheapo acrylic paint at the dollar store, and just sort of, it matches up, let's say, close enough to sort of blend things. And I have used acrylic markers, pens in the past, and they work fine. I just ran out of browns, and that was cheaper than buying. You had to buy a whole set to get the brown that works good anyway. In my, that I've found. Okay, so that aside, out of the way. Got the blank side, and you pop in. It says you go in there very snugly. Okay, there it went. And that sort of stands out like a sore thumb, don't it? May have to do some more painting. Let's see if this still how exposed that is when it's all said and done. Okay, now we got this guy like so, this guy like so, and then these go in to lock them in place. A7. Yeah, A7's our peg here. Now, gotta make this guy, so you tab upward with these over here, goes on to match the holes. And you guys just go through. Actually, this go all the way on, maybe. So these are super snug on this batch. That's probably a good thing. There it goes. Okay. Now, I got that side, and through there and up to like so. And give Neo a little privacy while she uses her litter box. I'll be right back. Okay, back to where we were. So this guy, we lock that up. This one going straight through the back into there. So now this piece is solid. And it says, need to get our wax out. So, where'd my brush go? I just bought a reasonably cheap ceramic wax melter from Amazon and a bag of bulk paraffin rather than using their little crayon type thing. I just sort of like the way it goes on. A little bit easier for me. Hard part is getting the wax melted once it gets under the brush. But it says little batch right there. I'm assuming we're going to put some in between here and then over in this hole as well. And then you sort of see where it leaves it on there. And I'm going to hit both sides because it should be that flush on that face. I'm just, yeah, a little bit goes a long way on that. So that's okay. Now this guy goes in here. I'll sort of work that wax. I'll make sure it gets everything gets. Let's say get some. You know you got enough when you got the excess peeling off for you. In there. And this guy goes on the other side of them. And just sort of. And maybe should put some in this little slot too, just to play it safe. Alright, let's get it good. That's smooth and pretty smooth. Excess wiped off there. Scrape off the top. This, yeah, it's going to be obscured anyway. I'm thinking this is going to be covered because we got all that stuff going on behind it here. I'm sure they wouldn't want to show all that in the final result, but I've been wrong before. That's now to the bottom half of the page, starting off on page 3. We covered that at the beginning. Going in. So we're doing double collars on the scouts. Let me see. Put one on each end and then force it down. And then you, from back, go straight through the middle there, onto this side. It's not going to be as mushable on here. As a matter of fact, it'd be much easier to go the other way. I'm going to disagree with them. Get that collar off. Okay. Because it's got those things around it. It's sunk in. This is sort of out in the open. So go here on this one. So, yeah, still moving pretty smoothly there. I mushed it together a little too hard, but I don't think so. Yeah, it's got some give there in between it, so that's yeah. Okay, sort of unusual for them to put that in there. I don't think I've ever seen them reinforce something like that. So this must be a load-bearing piece. But okay, done with that bit. I'm going to use it not imminently, so move on to officially on to step 2. But if you've ever seen me do a rocker before, you know they're sort of random with where they put their steps. So I didn't really do it by page number, and I put these in the wrong thing. Those go in the next batch, I think. No, it does go on this one. Okay. Oh, I put this in the wrong bucket. This goes on here. There we go. Now, of course, back to the waxing. Oh, all 4 holes need wax. And the wax acts sort of like a lubricant. It sort of smooths things out, so the gears will spin better, supposedly. I've tried Vaseline and official wood lubricant, which was basically Vaseline too, and it really and truly the wax seems to be the best. I think it helps that it's dry, so it sort of, once you rub the excess off, it sort of smooths out better. See, I got a bunch of excess there and there, but as you put the piece in and run it around, it smooths it out for you. Okay, those are in now. Oh, wax on our gear too. Okay. So, get one of our. Oh, no, not yet. Okay, I'm trying to figure out the way to go here. Okay, so we're going to go in from the back, I think. You on there and there. Drive on the left side here. Through here and there. That's good. I'm going to take. Yeah, I'm going to have to screw that through. Is that, the screwdriver's not going to be big enough, is it? It'll do this part. I'm just going to screw it through where it's flush with the end of the wood there. Sort of holds it in. Maybe give it just a half screw more, just to give something to line up here. Big gap at the top. Go in. Okay, over here. This one. Okay. Now I'm going to get a bigger screwdriver. There might be some torque on this one. Yeah, that one's too big of a screwdriver. There's the right size. Those come through pretty. They're a little proud there, but they're pretty flush. Okay, now this guy goes into that little recess there. It's not snug, which is surprising. Not me. This is not snug. Go into overkill with the wax here, I think, trying to hit that. Without getting around the actual drive itself, go gently around the edge. And get down on that wood part down there. Yeah, okay. And this one lined up with the key here, and I want the there. Alright, and into that. And that's all our pieces, so that concludes page 3. On to 4. And I keep working on this guy. These pieces. And our first little plastic extruded bit. And I used, I bought a little model kit, and it came with these snips to cut off pieces like that, and these are just absolutely perfect for taking these off nice and flush. Can't hardly see the, you can feel them, but they cut those tabs off really clean. But onwards and upwards. Let's see, what are we doing here? Got you go on the back. There. And the screws go through here. Yep. Where the holes are on the other side, so that makes it easy to figure out. Here. Into this one. So that's my excess wax. I'll look that around a couple of times. Get cleaned out. Smoothed out. Nice. And a spacer. And slide straight through on those. And you gotta tie into that one. Yeah. That lost one. Grabbed on nice and snug. Go all the way in on both of them. Yeah, looks like pretty flush on this side with them too. Focus on that nut ring. Right in there. Let's see. Nicely interlocked. And I didn't put wax on that one. I know I gotta do that. The wax will spread on its own, but I'll hit the, it doesn't take much wax. Like I said, it doesn't take much wax. This stuff goes a long way. Jam in there a little bit too. Okay. Well, that's all those pieces, and I'm gonna set you aside for a minute while we work on the next bit. Pieces out here. Let's see. Alright, so what are we doing with this one? So I start with you, the recessed side out. You go on there. Oh, I've got tabs, slots to line these guys up with. two of these guys on. Skipping out on me a little bit. Let's go to a bigger one. Oh, they're nice and snug. Okay. And then shaft goes through. It actually says we wax this and this, so these must be, yeah, that does make sense. That shaft's going to be in the hole there. Let's just this one. I wouldn't think the wax would do a whole lot for the plastic, but it says to hit them, so I'll hit them. Okay, and we're outside. In there. Yep. Alright, feels pretty smooth to me. Now, saying to make sure, okay, this side, I want it down, the side with the little tab to the right. That's probably to get these keys in the right place. There we go. J21. The wax bit. And K7. And wax on our gear teeth. And I think it's obvious this is not going to be the short video I promised at the beginning. Sorry. But you probably saw the time on it whenever you clicked on the link. Okay. I'm assuming we want the blank side. Yeah, blank side. In. Onto that. And J23 on here. It's a hex, but it's not a hex shaft. Okay. H21. Oh, you gotta go on the end, right? Okay, you put it on at the very end. Okay. Another hex on the non-hex shaft. It's slightly hexed, but it's not. Took a little bit of veneer off, but the collar seems to be in place. Okay, so you're okay. Now bring this guy back in. We're going in here. Locked in with those. Down. And this guy. There's more keys. Yeah, there's, you sort of see. Bring you on in. This one's keyed as well. We got the little tabs on there. Line those up and hopefully. Oops, I don't think I'm lined up. No, I was not. Okay. There they go. Yeah, it's lined up. It goes right. Yeah. There you go. Okay, so we got that thing a little wobbly, but hopefully once we get it all locked in, that'll be good. And now, this guy. Okay, so we're going to lock this key in place with this one. This is to the back. You go in here. And then you drop into there. Okay. So, okay, got you locked in place. Still a little wobbly. I'm surprised there's not a screw going in the front end. Oh, there is. There we go. Lost it in all the wax. Okay. Alright, so I guess that all locked in place. Still got some play in it, but that's, I think, to be expected. Want to be able to spin. Alright. But that concludes page 4. Let's turn over to 5 and see what we get to. Okay, still working on this guy. Don't need to be this close for that. Other way. Okay. Now, you go in down here. And this. Oh, other side. Goes up into that one. So, okay, from here to there. Lock that in. Alright. So we're securing these gears in a little bit better now. Now this whole thing gets waxed. And this might be one of the places where it'd be easier to use the crayon, but I'm already going, so. Smooth it all out. Nice little bit there. A little bit violent with my dipping there. So. Even coat. And we're going. Okay, so you go in here, and then to there, and this guy. And this one with that little flit going down. Okay. Oops. Crawled upward there. Okay, so everything's going to be moving there. And that officially concludes step 3. So set you aside. I think I'm going to be joining all these up before the end of the night. Okay. On to step 4, still on page 5. Okay. So, once again, double whammy on the collars here. You go through J22, which or another J22, and other colors. And of course waxing on the gear teeth. And what do we do? Set you down for a minute. Okay, because we're doing to 13, A36. One here. And again here. I'm not calling for wax on that part, but I'm going to hit it anyway. The gear is going to be hitting. Probably the middle part will spin, but won't hurt to have it. And down like that. This way. Yep. So this is where the wax should be on this side. These two. Now, on this guy, and the outer end, it's J33 to there, H17, other way. Down. Okay. On the bigger end, we go H5. We got the lines going this way, so another J33. And H7. And as usual, gear teeth means wax. I'll try and remember that since I forgot on that one. And that concludes page 5, so we'll do page 6, and that'll be enough for tonight, because I think that means we'll be into one piece again. So not tremendously long, I don't think, but definitely not the 25-minute one I was expecting, or meaning to do. Okay, so now this guy. So, and this guy, okay, goes into this. So those are going to end up interlocking, turning, yeah, okay, eventually. And we're back to this guy. They're going in. You're here. Nope. Okay, got it backwards. Yeah, that. Yeah, okay, right there and there. Okay, and then that'll line up that gear with that. Those two gears. And hold. Okay. And unlocked. All right. And let's see. Make sure all these pieces are for the next bit. Okay. Yep. Okay. So all these go on later. So now we're ready for this guy to come back in. Go So, hold of it. So that drive goes into that hole, and everything else should slot through. Looks like down here. There. It's only, yeah. And use, okay, there it goes. Drive shafting line. That's the only thing not going, there it went, okay. So, yeah, so it all just down here, there's no joining up here, doesn't look like. We'll go this. Those collars supposed to rub on that. Or 2 collars for that. Yeah, maybe that's supposed to go up. Oh, that might be, no. I should be patient. Wait for it to see what what we're supposed to do with that. Can't tell if that's supposed to be there or not. I guess we'll find out as we go along. But okay, so those two. Now, this guy goes in. Second try, it goes in on that tab, and then these two over here. Get our spacing in right. Okay. I'm still not sure about, let's say, this little area here. It looks like the drive mechanism is going to be over, maybe over there. I'm not. I gotta be patient. I can't. Okay. Now you go in here. Alright, and now this guy. There's very light engraving on here, but it barely shows up. I don't know if I can get it. There's some very, there's the best I can do. There's a little decoration on that side. Now, so that one goes through there. And those go there and there. And down here. Plastic bit into that one. Pressure on the other side there. Okay. Now you to that one, into that one. Okay, so we got everybody lined up in there. And this guy. You go over here. Supposed to put you on last time. That goes right there. Okay, so that's going to be one of our machines. I'm still not sure about that. Looks like. Okay, so this is not going to be much up and down movement here because it's locked in on that end. And yeah, this is going to be interesting to see how this mechanism works. I'm really curious already. But we'll get there. Because that is, it's in there loose on there. Cause yeah, that didn't call for a screw or anything on it. I didn't find a picture of it. No, no screw or anything. Okay. I better stop because I'll keep looking at this trying to figure it out for all night long. Okay. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm going to call it a quits right there. Like, subscribe, comment, complain, share. Do whatever you want to with all of that. Be good to one another. Stay safe. And click on the link. There's my channel over there if you'd like to subscribe. There's my other channel where I do experiments a couple of times a month. That is what YouTube thinks you should be watching. And over there is the playlist, going to be the playlist for the whole build once I get a second video up. I'll see you tomorrow.